The American Wild West was born in the 19th century as the United States pushed steadily beyond the Mississippi River into vast and contested lands. Fueled by ideas of manifest destiny, settlers, miners, railroad companies, and soldiers moved westward, transforming territories that were already home to Native American nations with deep histories and cultures. This expansion reshaped the continent, but it came at a high cost, marked by displacement, conflict, and broken treaties. What later became legend was, in reality, a complex and often brutal process of nation-building. The West was not lawless chaos, but it was unstable. Small frontier towns rose quickly around railroads, cattle trails, and gold discoveries, often faster than governments could establish order. Sheriffs, marshals, and judges existed, yet their authority was limited and unevenly enforced. Firearms were common tools of survival, used for hunting, protection, and sometimes violence, but the popular image of constant gunfights exaggerates reality. Most towns imposed strict rules on carrying weapons, and deadly shootouts were rare, though highly publicized when they occurred. Cattle ranching and the open range defined much of the Western economy after the Civil War. Cowboys, many of them Mexican, black, or formerly enslaved men, drove massive herds across thousands of miles to railheads in Kansas and beyond. Their work was exhausting and dangerous, shaped by weather, terrain, and long days in the saddle. As railroads expanded, they connected the West to Eastern markets, accelerating settlement and economic growth while permanently altering landscapes and communities. Native American tribes stood at the center of Western history, not as background figures, but as nations resisting invasion. Conflicts such as the Plains Wars and events like the Battle of Little Bighorn reflected Native resistance to land seizures and broken promises. Despite determined opposition, U.S. military campaigns and federal policies forced many tribes onto reservations, dismantling traditional ways of life. These actions remain one of the most painful and defining chapters in American history. Gold and silver rushes drew hundreds of thousands westward, especially after the California gold rush of 1848. Mining towns boomed almost overnight, filled with opportunity, exploitation, and risk. While a few struck it rich, most miners struggled, and many towns vanished as quickly as they appeared. These rushes accelerated westward migration and intensified conflicts over land and resources. The Wild West also became a powerful myth. Dime novels, traveling shows like Buffalo Bill's Wild West, and later Hollywood films transformed real people into exaggerated legends. Outlaws such as Jesse James and Billy the Kid were romanticized, while lawmen like Wyatt Earp became symbols of frontier justice. These stories emphasized heroism and violence, often ignoring the diverse realities of women, immigrants, Native Americans, and laborers who built Western communities. By the late 1800s, the frontier began to close. Barbed wire ended the open range, railroads reached the Pacific, and territories became states. The Census Bureau declared the frontier no longer existed, marking the end of an era. Yet the idea of the Wild West endured, shaping American identity around independence, resilience, and self-reliance. The real Wild West was not simply a land of myths, guns, and lone heroes. It was a place of ambition and hardship, innovation and injustice, where America expanded, struggled, and defined itself. Behind the legends lies a deeper story, one that reveals how a nation was forged not just through courage and opportunity, but through conflict, consequence, and change.